who've lost their lives and those who've been injured. Despite all this, as a nation, we are finally discussing issues. We are not discussing tribes, personalities, or political formation, but rather we are discussing issues that affect each and every one of us. Issues of debt, budget, corruption, the cost of living, unemployment, and opportunities for all Kenyans, especially our young people. If you go back on my Twitter account, I made a commitment to the country in 2019-2020 that the conversation in Kenya is going to change. It is not going to be about personalities. It is not going to be about positions. It is not going to be about tribes. It is going to be about issues. Today, that situation, a conversation about issues in our country. Ourselves elevate the debate in our country to the level of issues all of us. I am happy that we are having jobs for our young people, for business, about manufacturing, taxation, about debt, and all the other things that are important to all of us. Meant to highlight the actions taken in response to public feedback in the recent days, and to fulfill my commitment to continuously listen to the people of Kenya, and to underscore my intention to always take public contributions, applying them to enrich policy making, governance, and government programs. Public debt is and continues to be a measure of engagement and conversation in Kenya. I have today an independent task force to carry out a comprehensive forensic audit of our public debt and 3 months. This audit will provide the people of Kenya with clarity on the extent and nature of our debt, public expended, and will also recommend proposals for managing our public debt in a manner that does not burden future. Consequence of withdrawing the finance bill is the reduction of our revenue targets by 300 days. Our Treasury team has been assessing impact, either reducing the budget by 3.6 billion or borrowing the 346 billion and cutting the entire amount assessment significantly, drastically affect the delivery of critical services while borrowing the whole amount in full will occasion by a margin that would have significant repercussions on many sectors, including exchange rates and interest rates. We have since, after extensive consultation, struck a middle ground, and we will be proposing to the National Assembly a budget but a budget cut 176. Whatever we are going to borrow, the difference will increase our fiscal deficit from what I intended to be 3.3% of our GDP. It will now go up to 4.6% of GDP, still lower than last year, and will be used to fund still lower some than last year, and will be used to fund some of our critical government services. We will use the money that we will borrow to protect funding for some of the critical areas that the people of Kenya have asked me to protect. They include hiring of junior secondary school teachers and medical interns, funding the milk stabilization program for our dairy farmers, reviving our stalled road projects that are in many parts of Kenya, retaining the fertilizer subsidy program that has helped us manage our cost of living, settling the debt owed to farmers in our coffee sector, capitalizing the coffee cherry fund to support our farmers in that sector, enabling public-owned sugar mills to pay outstanding debts to sugarcane farmers for their deliveries, additional funding for higher education, new funding model that was in our plan will now receive arrears, CDF, settling arrears owed to counties, settling arrears for NGCDF, and settling arrears for our pensions. Accordingly, in keeping with the enhanced austerity measures we have committed to implement and align government expenditures within the budgetary implications of the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024, the following actions shall be taken with immediate effect towards the realization and functions will be dissolved. Elimination of their operational and maintenance costs, their functions will be integrated into the respective line ministries. Staff currently employed by their functions will be transferred to ministries and other state agencies within government. In addition, to fill the of administrative secretary is hereby suspended. Number in government shall be reduced by 50% within the public service with immediate deadlines by the office lady, president, cabinet secretary will be removed. The public service with immediate effect. Budget lines providing for the operations of the office of the First Lady, the spouse of the Deputy President, and the Prime Cabinet Secretary will be removed. Similarly, the budget provisions for confidential budgets in various executive offices, including my own office, have been removed and the budget for renovations across government reduced by 50%. Henceforth, public servants who attain the retirement age of 60 shall be required to immediately proceed on retirement with no extensions to their tenure of service whatsoever. The purchase of new motor vehicles by the government is suspended for 12 months, except for security agencies, while a new policy on transport for public officers will be developed. All non-essential travel by state and public officers is hereby suspended. No state officer or public servant shall participate in public contributions or haram fees going forward. The Attorney General is hereby directed to prepare and submit legislation to this effect and develop a mechanism for structured and transparent contributions for public, charitable, and philanthropic purposes. These measures will be followed by changes in government that I will be making shortly. We are determined to carry out this and other interventions to improve the quality, efficiency, and transparency in serving the people of Kenya and ensure that citizens receive maximum value for their resources from a public sector that prioritizes their welfare. I believe these changes will set out our country on a trajectory towards economic transformation, enabling us to achieve the strategic objectives of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and deliver our commitment to radically enhance opportunities for all Kenyans and transform our country.